Hello, truth seekers. Welcome back to this channel where we are going to finally lift the lid on the jaw-dropping truth behind all that glimmers in the world of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Yes, we're back with more of the finger-burning viral hot takes, each and everyone ready to send the bat signal up high and trigger an unbridled froth of anger from the MSM stans and the Sussex squad. Today, I'm about to spill a very hot royalty. So, he duly flies back to the UK, probably hoping to get a bit of FaceTime with dear old dad, King Charles. A somewhat pained plea to be given another chance to plead his case that he should, in fact, be able to work and be of royal firm worthy. And what does the new king go and do? He only goes and royally shafts Harry. The first major military appointment under Charles's reign has not been given to his oath-taking, reformer of a truth-spooter of a son, no. It's been given to that little toe-rag Prince William. It really is astonishing how the family and their dynamics continue to change or rather devolve. You think with all of this in the public view and the discussions in the interviews and tell-alls, there might be some efforts toward reconciliation or at least an effort to bring some justice into the matter, but, no, it appears that the new king is all too eager to carry on the idea of playing the favorites with the old guard. It rings clear that all the attempts by Harry to reveal the true working insides of royalty and plea for modern reform have been slap-bang wasted or has been sent well into the dustbin of history. In short, in conferring this vast military role on William, the king would be pinkishing not only the established order of the royal line of succession but also all the work which Harry has been attempting to do in the carving of some meaningful niche in that structure. Indeed, many will interpret it as a job lot, a way of putting Harry in his place and reminding him of his menial status. Beyond the politics of personalities, however, the deeper question is raised: what does this kind of appointment suggest about the nature of the monarchy we might expect and will see when and if King Charles finally gets it? Is it the same old, a much of the same loyalty towards tradition rather than a loyalty to something else from Charles, or is it no more than a move calculated to do no more than to porto his way through the sensibilities of the more conservative factions of the royal establishment? Nevertheless, one thing is pretty certain. This is far from Harry's last fling in his process to redefine his role vis-a-vis the royal family. No doubt, this recent event will have done his popularity in the military or the public at large well. It has, however, put him right in the middle of what has been revealed to be one of the feistier families out there, a family where everything one shares with his father figures to his brothers often is thrown back at him. One can only just wonder the kind of impact it is likely to have on his relationship here with Harry in the future. Yes, that very William that Harry claimed was a bully, a liar and some sort of meanness ringleader against him and his wife, Meghan. But on to this web of a disclosure. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already and turn on the notifications to avoid missing out on the explosive weekly content we have lined up for your entertainment and education perhaps. Alright, just imagine how mad and angry Harry must have felt at that point. Fellow kids always find a way to express themselves when they are angry and mad about something. All that latent envy and hostility to the golden child William would be all emanating from his poor body. As some sources put it, that man they had always called the Spare was literally in tears being hit hard like this by Papachito Charles. Hold on a second. The appointment had always been a given for Harry, as it was just his turn to inherit the role of Colonel of the Army Air Corps as an ex-serviceman in Afghanistan. It was widely expected that the beleaguered Spare would one day succeed his father, Charles, in this mere ceremonial military role. It was a matter of honor to be bestowed on Harry, as he served the military to the letter. What made it worse is that so much of Harry's life has been about serving his country, from serving in Afghanistan to setting up the Invictus Games for wounded service personnel to his current work for veterans. Having that stripped away and handed to William, who has never served in any conflict, would have felt like the ultimate betrayal. This is just the latest snub to come Harry's way, but it all speaks to a much longer history of tension between the sibling. Harry has often complained of living in the shadow of his older brother, the presumed heir to the British throne. While William was groomed for kingship practically all his life, Harry was, more often than not, the afterthought at the table of power, from a military point of view, especially. If anything, William's elevation to such a military title is a damning symbol of that institution under Charles, a hand shackled to the traditional hierarchy and unable to move away from it. Harry and Meghan are all about moving forward and making it better. This move would only solidify the idea that monarchy is about preserving the status quo. This may yet prove the last straw on the camel's back in Harry's continuing fraught relationship with the family. This once again taps into the vast overlong strain that has defined familial interaction with the royal establishment, and, more likely than not, another formative experience on the road to independence and self-definition. The drama of the Windsor family continues to unfold as reconciliation is far from a smooth process. The more Harry engages with these issues, whether intentionally or not, the further he drives a wedge between himself and the royals. It's almost proper fuel for the fire. In conclusion, this is another chapter in the ongoing saga that is Harry and Meghan against the royal family, by far a somber reminder of the twists and dangers of belonging to one of the world's most famous clans. It would have been an excellent bone for the firm to throw in Harry's direction, a rare moment of triumph for the red-headed stepchild over the favored golden child William. In some ways, it would have recognized Harry's alleged decades of neglect and mistreatment. But no, King Charles had to make a massive U-turn, robbing his son of that honor and handing it happily to Will. You can feel the thinly veiled poison dripping in Charles's veins with this one. Oh, you still want to keep telling the world our secrets, that my family are racists and tormentors, and you want my appointment, Harold? Fine, I'll just give it to your freak show of a brother. How's that for some more truth bombs, male child? This is a giant foo from a salty Charles to his black sheep son Harry. A last, final act that shows the new sovereign has absolutely zero interest in reconciling with his angry California outcast. The battle lines are drawn between the Sussexes and Wales. He could very, very, very easily have given his younger son the Army Air Corps role. Plainly he won't bestow it to him, prefer to dole it out to his heir, to whom, let's face it, he's already given a truckload of military appointments. That's a point-blank snub. That's a screeching payback on Harry for all the truth bombs he's lobbed at the firm in the last couple of years, from Oprah interviews and Netflix documentaries to that toxic memoir. Come on, Harry has blew every bridge back to the royal family. And now Charles has brought perhaps the cruelest punishment possible. Stealing an honor that was always going to Harry and handed it to the brother he loathes more than anyone else on the planet. This is a world-class kick to the Sussex family chateau. You can imagine behind closed doors there were tears of outrage from an irate Prince Harry when the news of King Charles's move hit. It just showcases how much vitriol is really building up between Harry and the rest of the royal family. In denying Harry a coveted military role, King Charles has made quite possibly the most direct statement of where his opinions are, and how he sees his son's actions. Clearly the king could care less about promoting reconciliation and is far more invested in maintaining the status quo and punishing insubordination. To Harry, this snub most likely constitutes the final betrayal. After over a decade of marginalization and very little recognition, he was given an opening to any tiny crumb of regard or acknowledgement. However, instead, he was humiliated in public, his efforts and sacrifices were minimized to uphold the status quo. Charles's snub of Harry isn't only a personal issue, it's a symptom of a more extensive, institutionalized hierarchy issue and often dehumanized nature. After the most recent royal scandal dust has settled, it's beginning to seem like the Windsor family's future is more uncertain than ever. The gap between Harry and his family only stands to grow with time, and the odds of genuine connection are slim to none. By picking William over Harry in such an open and obvious manner, the firm has, in all probability, exacerbated and prolonged the division within the household for years to come. In the end, it's just another chapter in the Meghan and Harry family saga and a sign of how difficult it is to join one of the most well-known families in the world.